ESPN.com has released the off-season NFL power rankings, and not too many surprises up at the very top. You see the Chiefs and the Ravens and some of the other teams up there. But then the Green Bay Packers, who have certainly been the talk of the town since the NFL draft, come in at number 6. So here's my question for the morning as I bring my guys back in, Mike T. And Nick, I will start with you. And I will quote the great Goldilocks. Are the Packers too low, too high, or just right?
I think they're absolutely too high, and I need to give some credit to my man Bill Barnwell for this, because they went 8-1 in games that were decided by 8 points or less. That's kind of luck, and they had a lot of turnovers, which made their defense appear better than it actually was, which also is not really necessarily repeatable. You normally don't get as high a turnover rate, and they have a quarterback who's definitely on the downslope. They lost Brian Bulaga, their best offensive lineman, and didn't replace him with someone of similar talent. And obviously, we all talked about it since the draft happened. They never really improved that receiving core. I don't think this team has gotten better, and I think that they overperformed last year. They weren't a 13-3 team based on their win differential. They should have been more like a 9 or 10 win team. They kind of got lucky in those close games, and I don't think that they're going to be as lucky in this coming season. And then you have all the soap opera type emotional drama that they may or may not have to deal with bringing in Jordan Love. I don't expect this team to do as well this year as they did last year. They certainly are too high on this power rankings.
What do you think, Mike T?
I agree. To quote Nick, I'm a little befuddled that they're so high. They didn't attack their needs. Right tackle Bulaga, they got worse there. They didn't get a receiver. And when you look at their division, I think Minnesota's going to be the better team. So they got nothing from their first 2 picks in the draft, and that's a big concern. So here's a team that's 13-3, Hall of Fame quarterback. You should do everything within reason to help him. I understand getting a quarterback for the future at the right time and at the right place. They didn't do anything to help this team, and I now put Minnesota ahead of Green Bay in the NFC North.
And I guess now here, Nick, I'm just asking you to guess, but if it does start to go a little bit south in Green Bay, if some of that good fortune starts to go in the other direction, and all of a sudden this team is struggling and all the questions come out, how do you expect that to play as far as Aaron Rodgers and the way he feels about everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be tough for Aaron Rodgers, but I imagine that we might start hearing about if they get to late in the season, they're out of playoff hunt or they're on the edge of the playoff hunt and Aaron Rodgers isn't playing well. Jordan Love, they're going to call for Jordan Love, and they're going to call for change, kind of moving forward in the future. And it seems like this draft suggests that this team wants to start turning the page. So I don't think it'll take much for them to start turning the page. And I understand how much they owe Aaron Rodgers. They can't really trade him. They can't really cut him. But I don't know what they're going to do with an aging quarterback late in the season if things aren't panning out. I don't know that I agree with Mike T, though. I think that division is pretty tough. It's pretty weak. They could still possibly win that division.
Well, wait, let me go back to the previous thing you said. Mike T, you're a general manager now. If that team is basically eliminated from playoff contention, none of us expect this, but let's say they're 3-6. Are you benching Aaron Rodgers and putting the kid on the field?
Absolutely not. And again, there's a time and a place. They just gave him a record extension a year and a half ago. They can't put Jordan Love on the field until 2022. So Aaron Rodgers fell to the Packers in 2005. The Green Bay Packers traded up for Jordan Love, and it wasn't the right timing. They can't put him on the field for 2 more years because the salary cap hit would be prohibitive.
Okay, this to me is a fascinating one. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.